And live. Good morning, everyone. Oh, 2 viewers already. Looks like you guys are looking forward to this. Hope everyone's having a nice cup of coffee this morning. It is looking absolutely beautiful outside. Actually, I was just outside a few minutes ago. We had to, jumpstart the wife's car. That was fun. What am I doing? Should have my microphone in front of me. I try to have my first cup of coffee with you guys. It just seems to work a little bit better that way. Well, not better, more authentic, I guess, is what I'm saying. But mine's not quite there yet. So how's everyone doing this morning? So like I said, I was already outside this morning. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Eileen. It is absolutely gorgeous outside. We need to go outside for a walk or something today. There's a cemetery not far from our house. I think we'll walk up there and walk back. Get a little stretch to the legs at least. Get some sunlight. Get some vitamin D. I feel like I'm turning into a cave troll. Like I said, we had to jumpstart the wife's car this morning. That was always a pleasure. But everything worked out pretty well. Roofers haven't shown up yet, which is, while it's understandable, it's a little disappointing. They were supposed to be here on Sunday, but I mean, Easter, okay. I get it. I wouldn't want to work on Easter either. But then yesterday they didn't show up either, but hurricanes, so hopefully they're going to be here today. I actually saw in the news, and, I saw it after my one friend, Sarah from Israel, contacted me about Scranton. Apparently, we made some international news last night. And I saw on the Abington Heights private group, the Abington Heights alumni private group, that the high school got a little bit of wind damage. It appears that the roof of the gymnasium got ripped off, or at least partially ripped off last night, or the night before. So that's lovely. Hope not too many people lost power, because that's never fun. All right, we have a couple of viewers in here. Let's get over to the chat, shall we? Good morning, Michaela. Good morning, Rich. Oh boy, yes they do. Hopefully they'll be here today. The thing is, when you're repairing roofs and stuff, you can't really do it in the rain. And before they give us a new ceiling, they have to repair the roof, because otherwise, why would you? So hopefully they'll be here today. Squeegee it off. Run some screws up as locators for where the leak is on the inside. Patch it from there. And then hopefully by, what's today, Tuesday? Hopefully by Thursday we'll be able to have a new ceiling and have use of our kitchen back. Great time not to have use of your kitchen, let me tell you. So how y'all doing this morning? Last night I was a little bit bad going through Amazon and adding things to my wish list for leather work. I've caught a bug, really. Yeah, a lot of fun. Let's see, just wonderful. That is great to hear, Eileen. And how's my buddy Bowser doing? Going crazy without humans. I'm sure it's quite interesting there, Eileen. I'm not too bad without humans. This is as much interaction with the other people that I really need. Um, though not getting into the shop is starting to wear on me a wee bit. Can't lie. Let's see. I do want to, if I have time today, I'm going to look it up right now. How do you spell ocarina? Bloop. There we go. I want to start practicing and learning how to use this beautiful thing right here. Because, like I said the other day, it has such just a great sound to it. Just such a nice, rich sound. I really need to start playing that. And I think that'd also be fun for the kiddo, seeing how he reacts to it. Let's see, do they have lessons here on STL? I don't know if they do or not. Blah, 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 blah. Tablatures. What's a tablature? Oh. They actually show you right on here. Look at that. Oh, they have such pretty things too. Guys, if you get a chance, go over to STL Ocarina. Even if you're not really into it, just seeing all the different things they have is really cool. Laura, you just love playing with your big boy toys. Yes, I do. Making all sorts of mess and sawdust. Yeah, well, I mean, that's part of the fun. It's man glitter. Thank you very much. But I also just like building big things, pretty things, fun things, useful things. I really can't wait till I can build another credenza. And actually, I need to build two. One for the kitchen, for storage, and then I need to build another one just for general storage in the living room, and also the display shelf on top. Just display little knickknacks and stuff, things, fun things. The one we have is nice, but it's not quite big enough. But it's so nice, I just want to make it twice. Well, that's corny. So what is everyone's plans for today? Laura, I know you're working. Rich, I guess you're gonna bug Eileen? And no one told me how my buddy Bowser's doing. Well, I'm glad you love corny, because I'm full of corny. Work, eat the cats, go for a drive in the woods. That sounds like a fantastic afternoon. Ooh! Your leather's coming today, Eileen. That's awesome. That's really cool. Ooh, hit the microphone. Sorry. Straight up cob over here. Yup. Well, if you can't laugh, what's the point of life? Ooh, they have a lot of music over here. I cannot wait. Alright, so my eyes just came to this, the Borlo fire. That came from, oh, a lot of chats here. Let's see what this is. You're so excited. Good. About is being a butt today, and I want to go to state capital to boo our dumb government. Yeah. there's a lot of stupid going on, a lot of mismanagement. I'd like to say they're doing the best they can. But that I don't want to get into politics. It's just too early in the morning. I said the best they can, not what they should be doing or what they can be doing. I have a lot of very not PC thoughts on what these people are doing. And yes, the sun is out. Thank God. Anyways, thoughts. STL Ocarina. I'm just on their page, and I'm looking here at the music and stuff. I'm looking at buying some. But Burlow of Fire. This is this is one of my there's certain video games that I just absolutely love. One of them was Ocarina of Time for the Nintendo 64, and when I heard the Burlow of Fire the first time, it just lit up my whole brain. Well, you're rich here. You're quite right. But back to video games. What or even just music in general. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when just that song, just that happiness or that sadness, or just that light up of all those dendrites in your brain and gives you electricity down your spine? Well, for me, it was the Burlow of Fire, and that was just an absolutely awesome piece of music, and I will never not love that piece of music in every incarnation that I've seen it. Absolutely love it. So they have the music tabs for a 12-hole ocarina, which I believe this is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah. So this is a 12-hole ocarina, so I should be able to buy this and play it. Should just be a download, right? I would assume it's just a download. Ooh. Clocktown for Majora's Mask, that was always a fun one. Deku Palace, Majora's Mask, Brothers, Full Metal Alchemist, Ponyo. Ponyo on the Cliff by the Sea. You know, I'm a little ashamed, but I still haven't seen Ponyo yet. I might have to fix that today. Super Mario 3, the entire soundtrack. That's awesome. You know, I can't think of what that one sounds like. I'm gonna have to look that up when we get out of here. Depends on the day. The Way I Am, Ingrid Mikkelsen. It's a good song. Song? If I Ever Leave This World Alive by Flogging Molly. Yeah. That one always hits home for me. Each Mario has a similar sound for each level, but the Super Mario 3 is just the best all around. Well, Rich, you are the Mario aficionado, so I'm going to take your word on that. Alright, here's one for you, Rich. What is your favorite Mario game altogether, the entire franchise? Music is a mood thing, but no matter what mood I'm in, that one hits me. Now, there's different songs and stuff I like to listen to at different times to help induce certain moods. Like, I listen to certain music when I'm not filming in the shop to get me to be more productive or more thoughtful or blah, 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 blah. Usually when I'm designing something, it's classical. Just different classical stuff. When I'm just piddling around, it's usually the of Monsters and Men on Pandora. But when I'm just getting there and just trying to pound through stuff and get work done, I go to an Irish rock theme soundtrack, and it just, yeah, that's my jam. Paper Mario. Mario Kart. I haven't played Mario Golf. I played Paper Mario a little bit. I really hope they make a. Pardon me. Really hope they make a Mario Golf for the Switch. I don't have a Switch either. Want to get one, but don't quite have the money for it. And whatever disposable money I have looks like it's going to be going towards leather craft instead of video games in the near future. At least, hopefully. Yeah. Yeah, I really want to play I want to play Wind Waker, and I want to play Breath of the Wild. They're both Zelda games. I love Zelda franchise. I'm sorry. No one has the money right now, and Paper Mario is an insult to Mario. I thought it was a cool concept. It might not have been the best of games, but it was a really cool concept. And I like that they tried something completely different as opposed to the standard lock and stock that they always go with. Celtic music if I want to slow down and relax when I'm crafting. Oh, I love traditional Irish music. It's fantastic. Wind Waker is amazing, and so is Breath of the Wild. I really want to play them both. I haven't. Last one I played was Twilight Princess. So I'm a little bit behind. And I'm glad that's your favorite franchise. It's one of mine. I love Mass Effect for the Xbox. The first trilogy, and even though everyone hated it, I do love Mass Effect Andromeda. And I think people are too stuck up in their own ass to sit back and enjoy a game for what it is, as opposed to Wind Waker was before I don't know if it was or wasn't. I didn't play Wind Waker. I played Twilight Princess. But I am so disappointed with people that we're not getting a Andromeda 2 and 3. Really disappointed. I love the Halo franchise. I love the Gears of War franchise. Well, clearly I love the Gears of War franchise. It's tattooed on my chest. And I love how hard and mysterious Dark Souls is. That's just such a good. And the lore is so deep and intense and fun, and you really have to get in there and tease out the information. Love it. But for me, Zelda will always be number one. I have so many good memories playing that game. So much fun. All these games, actually, I have really good memories of. I guess that's why they stick in my mind, is they weren't just a game to play. It's not the game itself, it's all the memories that you make up around the game, with the game, talking about it with friends, playing it with friends. And a lot of them you get attached to the characters, especially in Gears of War and Mass Effect. There are several times, and I'm not ashamed to say this, that those franchises have made me bawl like a little bitch. Gears of War 3 caught me hard. Poor Dom. And then Mass Effect. They were my friends, and I had to send them to their death. And I knew I was sending them to their death. Let's see. Right now, I really wish I had a Red Dead Redemption 2. Yeah, that game can take all day and night. I heard it was very task oriented. Like you have a lot of chores and stuff to complete, as opposed to just open gameplay like Red Dead 1. So it caught some heat for that, and so caught some flack for that, but I still want to play it. I know Gears of War is out right now, Gears of War 5, but I haven't been able to pick it up. I can't wait till I can. Might just download it at this point. Might save a few bucks. You know, it'd be nice if they incentivize downloading opposed to buying a physical copy by having download cheaper, because it's so much cheaper for the company. I mean, you gotta think about it. They're not printing any copies. They're not, shipping those copies out to stores. Those stores don't have to worry about paying the employees, paying this, paying that. They just put the code out there and boom, 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 boom. So I don't see why they don't, give you a break a little bit on downloading it as opposed to buying a physical copy. They'd also probably end up making a little bit more money in the end. But that's my little mini rant for today. I really think that I should start these with a monologue of some sort. In the morning before I go jumping straight into the chat. Maybe have an idea of what I'm going to say for a change instead of just doing everything extemporaneously. Ooh, Bowser just got his bark box. Speakeasy themed. I cannot wait to see the pictures of that online. That sounds really cool. Ooh. There is a bar in Scranton that's actually very speakeasy themed. It's really cool. It's in is it in Ale Mary's? I think it's Ale Mary's. But you go in there and you have to go through, like, it's in the back room, and then there's this little door that's always shut. You go through that door and then through another door and then a red room, and then it opens up into this like jazz club type speakeasy thing. And it is cool. Rich, I remember you telling me that your job was an old speakeasy. I think that's really, really nifty, really interesting. I don't really much go to bars because I like being able to drink, and bars are expensive. It's a lot cheaper at home, and then I don't have to get a cab. But there's something about a speakeasy that is kind of fun, kind of exciting and thrilling, even though it doesn't matter anymore. Just those little things that really makes things fun, at least for me. How is your job doing, Rich? I'm guessing you're all shut down now, right? So I wonder how that couple's doing. The couple that owns that restaurant, because they were really cool people. They seemed really nice. I hope they're doing well. But for me personally, it's old man bar all the way. I like a bar where I can sit down, smoke a pipe, have a couple drinks, and yeah, there's music playing, but I don't know. I want to be able to hear the people I'm there with. This whole club pumping music thing, just bleh. Not a fan. Absolutely not a fan. Okay, there's a wall of text. Let's see. Let's read this out here. Yeah, to be honest, the only thing. Bleh, words. Words are hard. Yeah, to be honest, the only thing missing in to make the Roaring Twenties is for alcohol to be banned. And they're doing okay. Worried if this goes long, we won't be able to make it. Maybe, maybe not. We'll just have to see how everything sorts itself out once pardon me. We'll just have to see how everything sorts itself out once this ends. But I don't think they can push this much longer. Whether or not it's the right thing to do, because people are going to get antsy. People are going to be stupid. People are going to get out. So just hang tight and we'll do what we can. Yay, cheerfulness. What else can we talk about this morning, kids? Burlow Fire. I think I'm going to buy that. It's only $3. Why is it? Alright, so it is a download. They give you this whole thing about shipping. That's just weird. They give you this whole thing about shipping or return policy and blah, 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 blah. I'm on the STL website again, by the way. And it's a download. You download the tab, so bleh. I don't know. See what other music they have. Oh, over here. Ballad of the Gods. Oh, they have some Animal Crossing on here. Animal Crossing New Horizons main theme, Animal Crossing's New Horizon complete songbook. So, Laura, I know you're a big Animal Crossing fan right now. If you get yourself a ocarina, that might be something to occupy your time for a little bit. Chocobo theme, Clocktown, Kingdom Hearts, some Undertale, Delfino Plaza, Super Mario. Elegy of Emptiness, I know that one. Forest Maze, Super Mario, Gerudo Valley, Gusty Garden, Super Mario Galaxy. There's another one for you, Rich. There's a lot of stuff on here from Mario. Much more than I expected, actually. Oath to Order from Majora's Mask. That was always a very good one. Overworld from Mario. Super Mario, sorry. Prelude of Light. Rosalina's storybook theme. Super Mario Galaxy. Oh, Saria song. Chrono Cross. Shop theme from Legend of Zelda. I never liked that. The shop theme. That was always very just antsy and grating to me. I don't know why. Song of Awakening, Song of Healing, Song of Storms, Spider Dance from Undertale, Still Alive from Portal. Oh my god. This is a triumph. I'm making a note here. Huge success. Ba-da-da-da-da-da-ba. I might have to get this because that was just kind of fun and happy. Voltron theme. Oh, Tetris main theme. Oh yeah, I'm gonna lose some money today. This is gonna be fun. Let's get to the chat here. Want to know something? Yes, I do. Your music teacher in high school bribed you with an A in music class if you promised not to touch a musical instrument all year after the first week. Well, you're out of high school now. Oh, Laura, that's something. Ooh, I can put people in timeouts and make them moderators. Look at that. Well, maybe if you start playing, they will I don't know, leave the room for a little bit. I doubt you'll deafen them unless you're really trying. Just don't lock them in the room with you. Besides, you'll make such great friends with your neighbors. Seriously though, I'm definitely gonna buy some of these and work through learning it because it's gonna be fun. And I always love learning new skills. Look how jazzed up I am about working with leather. I've always done leather work, but it was never a thing. Now I have the time, and it's like, oh my god, I can make real things. By the way, Plague Doctor Mask this Friday, 5:30. Can't wait. Oh my god, 3 small kids next door. Well, maybe the Easter Bunny comes a little late this year, and maybe the Easter Bunny leaves 6 kazoos. I love learning new things. So do I. It's fun. Besides, maybe I'll actually get good at it for a change. I mean, I'm decent enough with the potato ocarina. So I can make music and might not be the best of music, but I can make music and it is recognizable what I'm playing. But I have a chance to really get good at something right now. That is a rare opportunity that I think I should really embrace. And it might be fun for Connor to hear me get better and better and better, and might improve his cognitive ability. All right, this is just me psyching myself out to do something I really want to do. However, it's gotta be fun. I want to do it. I can't wait to do it. Also, I got this one box from work a few weeks ago, and I did this last night because my area here, my desk was getting a little crowded. So let me pull you over to the other cam for half a second and show you this box I got and what I did with it. Okay. So this whole work area here was getting pretty overcrowded. I mean, it's a big desk, but there's not all that much space here. So I got this box from work. It has all of my leather stuff in it now. Doesn't that look so nice? This stuff is some of my favorite. It's a brass brass mesh words. Blah. This stuff is really cool. Initially, I intended on making a Faraday cage, but that never panned out. So I have this super thin, super fine brass mesh here, and I have to do something with it. I mean, just look at that. That is gorgeous stuff. I don't even know where I got it. AC Moore, I think. 5 years ago, 6 years ago. A little corroded there, that's fine. But I mean, you can see through it super clearly. And a Faraday cage is, it just stops radio signals from transferring. So there's two ways I can do this. I can use this as a screen, because the original idea I had when I brought this home from the shop was to cut this out, because and make vents in the face of my plague doctor mask. But you're going to see in the video why I couldn't do that. But when I buy sturdier leather, because what I used was upholstery weight, this stuff will not add so much weight to it that it'll compromise it. So I could cut out a section of it and put it as a screen. I did this kind of anatomical once upon a time. This was my the death mask for my Angel of Death project. And you see how birds have this one hole here, which was their nasal cavity, but they also have this secondary hole here. That I want to actually move up so that they're both kind of closer to the front of the plague doctor mask, and fill in the second one with that brass mesh. Anyways, that's the box I got from work and what I did with it. I was very proud of myself. Alright, let's bring this back to the chat screen. So, I know that's kind of stupid, how excited I got over a little box, but there it is. Why won't you turn now? Thank you. I think it's pretty cool. I geek out about weird things sometimes. But you gotta, I think. By the way, I did make a decision. I am going to be making a dice tray on Saturday for the giveaway. I think that'll be fun. That'll be easy. And I have all this leather lace that I trimmed off from these other two projects, just making straight edges and stuff. I want to use up some of it. I got all this leather lace here, and I think that would be a great way to use it. You know, if I started a legit fight between the two of you, I will be so pleased with myself. Almost had you a couple times in Monopoly. Collusion, Rich. Collusion. So does anyone know like a good random number generator type thing for me to use? Not exactly sure where I should go with that. I mean, I guess Google has one here. Could use that one, I suppose. He damn near flipped the board one night. Yes, he did. And that was hilarious. You know, next time you guys come in, we're going to have to get like a big table set up and have like 5 or 6 people over for a game night and really have a good intense game night. Because that'll just be so much fun. And I swear, we need to do we really need to get the, game. That bomb disposal game. I still need to find it so we can download it. And maybe I'll even do a, like live stream playing that with you guys or something. That somehow got pulled out of its socket. Oh, that's lovely. Because I think that could be so much fun. If we do that. What about X-Wing? Duh. But we need to get a big table first to do X-Wing, Michaela. Because that's such a big game. Because we don't just have X-Wing, we have X-Wing Armada. And that game, I think, takes up a wee bit more space, especially because you have to compensate for the inertial tendencies of the capital ships. Wow, I'm a nerd. I love it. I revel in my nerddom. We could use the floor, but no, we're not gonna. I remember we took that down in North Carolina, and that was just so much fun. Taking that down there. Wait, what is X-Wing? Okay. So my one friend Wallach introduced me to this game. X-Wing is Mikhail, hold on. X-Wing is there's 2 versions. You have X-Wing and then you have X-Wing Armada. X-Wing, you're a flight of either Imperial or Rebel pilots. So you have a certain amount of points that you have to spend on ships and pilot cards and abilities. And there is no game board. You just have a big open area, and you have to pilot your way in real time and dogfight. It is so cool, so much fun. Because how they move and how everyone moves and changes and stuff, they did a really good job building this game. And then Armada is you have capital ships like Star Destroyers or Nebulon Class Bs, whatever. And then within that starship, of course, you have a couple wings of fighters. Now, it's like the regular X-Wing where you have so many points that you have to spend before, to build out your armada. But the dogfighting part of it is a little bit more simplified, but you still have to maneuver the capital ships, which, because they're so big, they have inertia, so you can't just move them fast. You kind of have to slowly rotate them into whatever arc you want, and fun. And there's nothing like almost losing a game and then just sliding yourself right into that perfect firing arc and taking your enemy out right from their ass. Yes, so much fun. It gets so angry making. It does, but oh my god, it's so much fun. It does get angry making, though. Especially because you can calculate wrong and run your ass into an asteroid, or do any number of stupid things. But so much fun. And it's primarily a 2-player game. However, you could also play it so that each person commands one individual starship. So you can do that for either X-Wing or for Armada. So for the Armada, you would you'd have them command just a what you call it. For X-Wing, you'd have him control one starfighter. For Armada, you'd have him control a capital ship. And man, is that so much fun. However, that's also a great way to start a fight. Because if you run into somebody or they run into you, oh boy, you can get in trouble. Asteroids to X-Wing gravel to Minecraft. Yes, they are. Because the asteroids generate randomly and move throughout the space. So, yeah. No way I would win 1v1 game. Can't collude. I don't know, Rich. You might be able to win it. You're smarter than you let on, and definitely a lot smarter than you look. But I mean, it's not a high bar. You know, if I wasn't busting your ass, I wouldn't like you. But yeah, fun game. Have to play it. You can also buy a whole. I thought I had it out for some reason. It's somewhere around here. I saw it a couple days ago. Oh, I know where it is. It's in a box under the bed. But you can buy all these miniatures and expansions and stuff. So much fun. Don't say that. It'll go to his head today and say he's the smartest man alive. Well, maybe you should let him think that for a little bit. Let him get comfortable in that role. And then when he's at the top of the stairs, rip the rug out from underneath him. See where things land. We know. It's a good thing you're pretty, Rich. But let's see. I'm sure you do. What else is there? There's something I wanted to say to you guys. I can't remember now. Rich, why aren't we friends on Xbox Live? This is highly disappointing to me. Because I know you have an Xbox. I remember when your wife bought it for you. We could be online chatting every night, playing games, shooting stupid people. What's a project you're itching to get started the next time I get to the shop? There's several. All right, fair enough. Wow. See, I don't know what my next project is. I want to build those two credenzas, the one for the kitchen, the one for the living room. I have this one I want to. It's like a chair seat type thing for the end of the bed. That's kind of like a hope chest. I'll actually throw up some pictures online on the Facebook group sometime today. I modeled it up in SketchUp and on in AutoCAD. I think it'll be really cool. I actually modeled a few things up in SketchUp and AutoCAD. that I can't wait to really jump into. But itching to get at? There's a few picture frames I want to build for the house, actually. What else is there? Picture frames I want to do. If I had the time and the money, I would do some more shop projects. I usually don't film those. The last one I did is I built a router table. Not a router table, but like a router fence, and built everything into my my table, my outfeed table for my table saw, which is cool. I said table a lot. I want to build some more storage and shelf space in the shop. Start getting it organized. Display shelves. I have a few stores I want to get into, but I need to build displays for my products first. One thing I do want to do, and I want to work on that during the shutdown, is Aiden Watson. Hey, buddy, how's it going? How you doing this morning? I want to get some packaging wrap or some sort of thing for the cutting boards I did. Dress them up a little bit nicer, make them presentable. Good. And how are you? I'm doing pretty good. It's a good morning, except I'm almost out of coffee. And now I am. But yeah, I want to do the, get those done. I think I can get by with an 11 by 17. I'm thinking like a 4-inch or 5-inch wide strip. Do some sort of like a pretty print or something. And I might be able to get that wrapped. I don't know if that'll be enough, or if it is, it'll be just enough, because I figure it's 7.5 by 7.5. So that's 15 inches. And then it's three-quarter lumber, so you have, let's say, 16, 17. So I'll have a 1/2 inch ish of wiggle room. So that'll be kind of tight, but I might be able to fix it. But what are you building? Nothing right now. Mistakes. Today I want to in the Facebook group Nightsmith, I want to throw up a few different projects that I want to do that I have modeled up in SketchUp pictures. I think I could have some fun with that. That'd be fun. I want to do those. You know what? I can do a couple A/B tests with you guys once I get a few different designs for those wraps done. That'd be fun. Ooh, and for those of you who are in the know, business cards. I think I found a way to do the business cards that I really want. I want to start doing hot foil pressing. I want to get the machine so I can do it with leather, but that same machine will do it onto like cardstock and paper and stuff. So I can design my own cards, and then just foil press them myself, make my own little jig, and just press them all. So I can print on black paper, and then just press on the stamping, which that might be the way it goes. That might be a good way. Maybe I can even emboss it a little bit. Who knows? Have some fun with it. Make them shiny, unique. Maybe I'll get some more business that way. Who knows? So not going to be the same as the hand-cut boxes. I do want it to find some way to make the hand-cut boxes work, but for the cost benefit, they were just not working out. But I might be able to do that foil stamping for the boxes as well, if I can decide on an appropriate size, especially for the larger objects like my pipes. Since they're like $200 pipes, I can spend a little extra time and hand cut a unique box for it, foil stamp it, really make it a pretty presentation for the customer. But for when I was shipping out my beard balm in those hand cut boxes, $8 for an ounce, it just wasn't worth it to spend a half an hour cutting a box and folding it out of cardboard. It just wasn't. Come in. Ooh, thank you. Fresh coffee. All right. This is a good morning. Mm-hmm. So if I get one of those foil machines, I think I could really do that. And if I'm doing that, then I could just design and cut all my boxes and stuff here myself. And now that I have this printer, if I get cardstock, especially black cardstock, splendid lady delivering coffee, best morning. Yeah, it is starting to qualify as that, isn't it? But if I'm but if I can print on the cardstock and stuff, I think I could really start doing things a little bit better, a little bit nicer, a little bit more professional. Because then I could measure the paper with calipers, and design things in AutoCAD and just really print it out. It'd be a little bit better if I had a Cricut, Eileen. But I don't, and I don't have the money to get one of those machines, and I think my time and money would be spent better elsewhere. Like getting that foil machine, or getting a 3D printer, or a CNC, or a laser. But yeah, I think that's the way I'm going to go, and I think that's what I'm going to be doing this week, in addition to filming a couple manliness videos and getting a bunch of things edited and uploaded. Like I said, I have those 11 videos from Mike. The first one dropped yesterday afternoon, so I have 10 more to upload and do all that doobly-doo too. Then I have, I don't know how many I did with my brother, because I'm just sitting down and shooting them and bulk editing them. But I'm doing like about 5 to 8 minutes, depending on how long we talk about any particular subject. Oh my god, have you played with a 3D printing pen? Could you do that kind of thing during lives? I did once when I was waiting for glue to dry, but then things got a little too hectic. I did bring it home with me from the shop. It's sitting right there. I definitely could do that, and maybe that might be something fun to do. Oh, one other thing I want to work on. I started doing these. Let me pop over to the other screen. I started working on these. Beard combs. This one I did right before a party just because my hair was a mess. And this is just scrap wood. It was a test piece that I was doing for the for the crib, which I still have to edit that video. There's like 15 hours of video that I need to go through. But so this is Mark 1 for a beard comb. Kind of big, kind of clunky. It's 3/4 inch wide. 1/8 inch teeth, 1/8 inch kerf. Not great. So what I did then is I took another piece of scrap about 2 weeks later, and I ripped it down to a smaller piece. Now this is still 1/8 inch teeth, 1/8 inch kerf. But it's much better. It's a little bit more shapely. And I think I could actually do these as like women's hair accessories, which would be cool because this was pretty easy to pump out. But I mean, it does technically work, just not as well. So I need to get a thin kerf saw for my table saw. So that's gonna be like 70-80 bucks. However, I'd be able to pump these out, and I think if I really, sat down and did that for a day, I could get maybe 50, 60, out for the day. When will my reflection show who I am inside? I don't know what you mean by that, Michaela. But so these are Gen 2, and I am super excited about this Mulan. Oh, because it's shaped like the one she was using. Yeah, kind of, I guess. Is that what you're getting at? Okay. You really threw me for a loop there. But yes, so I did these 4 guys here, pretty much all at once. I think only one of them is good enough to ship out because they're all, like I said, they're all test pieces. So this way, they all have these little Mars and marks on them. I think only one of them is decent. Yeah, it's this one. This one's actually the only one free from defects. Michaela, you say that, but I can give you 1.5 million other show references and movie references that you will never understand. But I think if I can start pumping those out, if I get that thin kerf saw, they'll start really looking good. So yeah, that's my ideas. They don't know international military heroes like we do. Michaela. Okay, Michaela, if you want to get into this, who's Dominic Santiago without looking at your phone? Don't use Google. Come on. We're waiting. Michaela. You're something else, you know that? You really are. Does anyone know who Dominic Santiago is without looking at Google? Please don't disappoint me. It is not a pizza shop. Trust me. He's a brave man who sacrificed himself for his friends. Thank you, Rich. See, Michaela? He knows. Some obscure reference by the shape of a wooden comb. And neither do Disney movies. So, meh. Rich, that's cheating. Alright, guys. Wow, it's after 10 o'clock. Alright, so what should I talk about tomorrow? Any thoughts? Any ideas? Ooh, there's gotta be a fight tonight. And yes, Rich, you did break the rules. Oh, Simon Bolivar. That's Halloween stuff. I'm planning our party. Usually I start planning now for the projects in decor. Could definitely talk about some Halloween stuff. Yes, you are, Rich. Yes, you are. Completely surrounded. Inundated, actually. I think I could talk about some Halloween stuff for tomorrow. Might even be able to use that 3D pen a little bit. Have some fun with it. I do need to see why my cell phone camera is not focusing at all. I mean, it's focusing up close, but blah. Yeah, we'll see. But if I can get that to focus, I'll play with the 3D pen and we'll talk about some Halloween stuff. And then I also need to find my honing solution so I could sharpen some knives, because I remember one of you guys asked for that the other day, for me to talk about some philosophy or something. And yeah, sounds like phone collusion. Sometimes, Rich, I don't know if you know what words mean. Anyways, guys, I'm gonna get going for today. I have a ton of stuff on my plate, and hopefully these roofers show up today. Hopefully. So, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. I appreciate you. Subscribe if you haven't yet. Thank God for my Patreons, and thank you for helping me. Yeah, and thank you for helping make this world better, one kerf at a time. And I'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Bye bye.